Good morning, everyone. This is L Trades, and I chose to do a market update today because I'm actually seeing something for once, not just chopping and bleeding for eternity. So I'll tell you right now, and hopefully it will help you out in making some good decisions. So basically, it's been a while. Today is the 29th of October, and Bitcoin has been doing okay. It's pumped from like 19K to here in the past few days, and some altcoins, especially Doge, are doing very, very well. But we'll get into that later. So for Bitcoin, what's going on? Well, it's showing some nice signs, right? So we have like a double bottom on the 2018 support. That's very nice. We still have to at least make a higher high than like this one to even have any sort of like chance at making this the bottom. Um, for now, at least make the local high right there. I don't know if you can see it. For now, it's just about going up to the 200 week, doing what I just said before, and watching it, right? But overall, this is very nice. At least the support got respected, and even if we do dump, it's pretty unlikely that we just happen to crash through the support in one go from here and go off a cliff. So what are we really looking at here then? Overall, it's good bottom signs. The weekly actually shows what it always has shown for a bottom. But what's different now, and we have to include this, is the macro, right? And it's different because BTC has never been through a macro environment such as this, or a recession, or whatever, however you want to say it. So all we have to do is look at the SPX, as we always do, right? So I don't know if you guys know or if you guys follow me on Twitter, but if you do, you would have seen me post this 2008 fractal of the global financial crisis. Basically, it's literally a mirroring of the 2008 scenario, and BTC has been following it this whole time, but now has actually kind of broken out in a sense that it has been pumping more, and this is very good because alongside crypto looking good, Bitcoin looking good, if this manages to fully break out and maybe ride its way to the 200-day moving average, and the fact that it respected the 200 week, then it could very well just have been the SPX and macro bottom. I know that's a bit hard to take in, considering that what's going on in the macro environment is very bearish, and even if the Fed pivots, it's very hard to just bottom the world markets with the inflation as it is currently. Nonetheless, you could still get some good pumps even if it is halfway through a big recession, right? And what we're seeing is, again, the SPX is breaking out from this disgusting structure, but of course it can just go like this and continue it and just be like a bit of a deviation from the past. So what we want to see, first of all, is this, and Bitcoin is looking good, right? So this is just a good thing so far. We have to acknowledge that. If this went like below the 200 week, which is that light blue line, and then back tested it, and then we were there now, or just a bit below it, I would be a lot more worried. But I'm happy that it respected it, and I'm happy that it just had this massive candle up, and we just have to keep watch on it. But what should you do, right? You're a crypto trader, you trade stocks, whatever you do. Well, you have to realize that the value areas, which were obviously around the 200 week, they're behind you, okay? You can't really FOMO into stocks right now, especially tech stocks, which some of them have been destroyed, like Meta, and some of them have actually taken the market cap from stuff like Meta, such as Apple and some other ones that I not in the top of my mind. So the value areas are behind you, right? You're halfway between that and the take profit areas, or where you would think that it's likely for it to reverse. In fact, it could just reverse here, right? This is the problem. BTC, of course, the weekly looks good, right? And there's nothing wrong with DCAing spot. And, not looking back for years, you'll be fine. You'll make a profit. Even if we have a massive recession and, it goes crazy, goes like 5K, whatever, it'll still come back and make an all-time high in 2025 because it always has for the past 12 years. So it's a good value area. You can try and call the bottom for various reasons like I did, but there's a lot more to be seen first, in my opinion. But then you look at stuff like Doge, right? And Doge is gone insane. Now I actually called this exact pump about a couple of days before it happened. And some little education here. This is why I tell people you don't have to spend years studying technical analysis. All Doge did, and I said it exactly in my post on Twitter, is go sideways, like linearly, right? This is a log graph, but it went sideways very tightly, right? Every candle was almost the same size as the candle before it. It was squeezing, right? It's done it before here, where it just dumped hard and then it went sideways, and the candles were like literally a square because that's how tight they were. And both time it pumped, it's done it here, and this was the big one, and it's done it there. It hasn't really done it in other scenarios, right? All these other times were like waves. It did it kind of here, right? And this isn't the big chart, but if you go to the Doge USD Bitrex, you can see 2014, 2015, and it's the same thing. So all I had to do was look at Dogecoin, see it come down non-stop, you know, backtesting the 200-day, getting rejected, backtesting every day. I was like, there's no entries here, right? I thought it might be along at the 200-week, but obviously it wasn't, right? And then under it, it was just sticking to the 200-week. And then here, it was making that exact same pattern as every time I circled before. Now, altcoins don't always do this. It just seemed to have been that Doge does this a lot. It could be a supply-demand thing. It could be whatever, right? But it's just a historic thing that happens a lot. So I said to myself, and on Twitter, this is a high-value area. And every time the Doge has gone sideways like this, it has pumped. And why should this time be different? And that's all. There wasn't any like Fibonacci. I think there was actually bullish divergence, which there was in the past, so that's very good. So there was some indicators, but I didn't have to go too hard into it, just had to look at the history. And now it's 43% up on the weekly, and it's pumped beyond the 200-week and the 200-day. And Elon has acquired Twitter, which will probably continue this in some way. Even if it, you know, dumps, it'll probably just become really bullish from here on. My point is this, just for education's sake. You don't have to know too much. You have to be able to slow down and observe patterns, historical patterns, in any sense. Once you find your edge, you dig into it, and you only play out that edge. You amplify that edge. You only focus on that edge. You don't suddenly see Doge here do this and make money off it, and then see it in another year do the same. But instead of, you know, seeing it, you go into something else like some meme coin, other meme coin, and you think, you know, it has more edge. Just stick to your edges once you find them. That's just one thing I wanted to tell you. So it's not exactly just an update today. I want to actually share some alpha. Hopefully it'll help you out. So if you look at like SHIB, for example, you know, weekly, you see a low and a high low, right? And you think, this is nice. It is. You know, it's textbooks like demand. Of course, it could just hit the 200-day and die off. So what do we want to look for here? You know, there's not that much history. I think maybe on the Poloniex chart. Where is it? I think there's a bit more history on this one. Yeah, so there you go. So it's made a high low and very strong support. This is weekly. If we go daily. Yeah. Now, why did I go to SHIB out of everything? Well, Doge pumped hard. And I know historically that SHIB follows it. Not all the time, but enough of the time, right? So if I see that BTC is relatively okay, if the altcoin market is relatively okay, if Doge is the biggest gainer, then with all that evidence, of course I'm going to go to something that usually historically follows it, right? Which is SHIB. Now we see a low, a high low, it's rounding, it's nice. Unfortunately, it's close to the 200-day, which is resistance, but we'll see how it goes, right? And it bounced, it rounded above this support. That's very, very nice. It doesn't happen much, right? And if we go SHIB USDT to Doge USD, what we're doing here is, sorry, not Doge USD. Yeah, Doge USD. What we're doing here is we're comparing the ratio, we're comparing SHIB to Doge. And we'll see that historically, this is a strong support area. And actually, I want to flip it. I want to go Doge USD. It's easier to tell you why. To SHIB USD. You'll see that it's kind of like trading in this range, right? Now I'm going to do like, bad job of it, but it's like this range, right? Maybe like a rising parallel channel. And usually the ratio of Doge to SHIB returns to around 5,000 on average. So you can, connect all those dots together. SHIB follows Doge. Altcoin market looks okay. BTC looks okay. If there's going to be any pump anymore from any coin, any altcoin, it is most likely going to be SHIB. And that's how we like gather evidence and deduce all of this and put it together. And now we'll just watch. SHIB's already pumped since I called it, but I think it's got much to go. And this isn't like me telling you to buy SHIB. Okay, this is just I'm trying to just hammer it into you that this is how you should be looking at individual coins in the market. But at the end of the day, remember, everything is linked. If the SPX starts to turn over, so will BTC. And if BTC starts to turn over, so will Doge. And if Doge starts to turn over, so will SHIB. Okay, so pay very close attention. Now, before I leave, I just want to leave you off with total 2, and then I want to talk a bit. So, sorry, total crypto market cap, we always used to look at it. Very nice, lower, higher, low, kind of double bottom above the 200 week, same as 2018. Again, if SPX bottomed, this definitely bottomed, which means bull run. Well, I wouldn't say bull run begins. Bull run usually begins in 2 years, but at least maybe this kind of pump that we've seen here in 2018, maybe we get a bit of that, Unlikely that we get that much raise because the market cap is much bigger. But if that happens, something like SHIB or even smaller coins can rally like, 2, 5, 10x. Maybe not 10x for SHIB, but you know what I mean. Then, actually, I'll finish off with total 2 because that's actually the altcoin market cap. You see higher low here, very nice. After the support low was made, it could definitely just dump back to the 200 week, and that would be catastrophic if you're like leveraged long, and that's what I'm talking about, to be careful. But if this continues up, especially if it goes up to like here, resistance confirms like that higher low. It's very nice. We're in log, but very similar. And yeah, so everything's looking pretty good. We're just banking on the US markets going up, and there's no magic stick that will tell you that that's going to happen. But if you're going to bet on that, then you should gather as much evidence as you can, and you can find the coins that are going to reflect that pump the best. And I believe that to be something like SHIB, for example, in the short term at least. And later on, we'll see. Maybe the market will flow around. Anyways, I just wanted to say, I know I haven't updated in a while, and I'm probably going to start doing it more as we see more, money flowing back, or even if more money is flowing out. If everything becomes really bearish again, it'll be kind of fun to commentate on it. But good luck, and if you have any questions, you can DM me on Twitter, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.